Scooby-Doo and Batman, The Brave and the Bold is a pretty good film. I was really looking forward to this, and I'm pleased to say I rather enjoyed it. This was released in 2018. It's directed by Jake Castorena, and we have a brilliant voice cast including Frank Welker, Greg Griffin, Nika Futterman, Tara Strong, Kevin Michael Richardson, and many others. And I have to say the concept is pretty good. I do like Batman, that definitely helps. Whenever there's a crossover with, for example, Scooby-Doo and another crossover, if I'm not familiar with the thing they're crossing over with, or if I don't like that thing, then I'm not really going to enjoy the film. So I will say having an interest in Batman or DC in general is probably going to help with this film, because there is a lot of DC in this. I'm not going to talk about the other characters that feature, because for me, that was part of the excitement of wondering which DC character was going to pop up next. So I won't spoil it by giving away any others, but they're definitely in it a lot. And Batman actually enlists the help of Scooby and the gang to help track down various villains. My favourite, the most notable one, being somebody called the Crimson Cloak. And the Crimson Cloak is a pretty fascinating villain, a pretty great antagonist. I don't want to say too much again about the character, but I rather liked the design of the character, the concept of the character. That for me was really interesting. I think obviously with Scooby-Doo, if you have a really boring villain, then that's not really very interesting, and it's kind of the main focus of the narrative. With this one, that being said, the villain could have been dull, and I think it still would have been interesting because of Batman, because of the other DC elements. I think there would have been enough there to keep me interested, but thankfully that wasn't the case anyway. I really liked the progression of the narrative. It got to the point straight away, and then things seemed to be going at a pretty steady forward pace, and then somebody would throw a curveball and things would go off in a different direction. There were a couple of things that I certainly hadn't expected, which was quite nice. It's not completely predictable. And then we have the actual animation as well, and I really like the animation style. It's obviously a very classic Scooby-Doo animation style, but the animation really fits the character of Batman. It works really, really well for this character, and all of the other characters look brilliant. There's so much creativity. Visually, there's always something fun to look at. So, needless to say, I really enjoyed it. I thought Scooby-Doo and Batman, The Brave and the Bold, was a pretty decent film. It's a fun concept, well executed, decent animation. I can't complain. If you're a fan of Batman, and of course Scooby-Doo, then I'd say it's worth checking out. It's a pretty good crossover. I rather enjoyed it. Scooby-Doo and Batman is a pretty good film.